Hopefully you guys were able to watch the last one and learn something from it. Um, we might see some of the same things here and some new things in this video, so we'll jump right into it. This is against Toca. So we can see here that we have a couple people open. We are not goal side. The red shirt or white shirts are jumping ahead there. Not goal side, get caught up having to track back and start chasing the ball, leaving people open on the backside and giving them good opportunity. So again, the importance of marking up goal side, finding a man and staying with them. Fortunately, that was a bad shot, but it was a good opportunity for them. Moving on to the next clip here, we have a goal kick. Two wide players, which is great. Aiden with a nice scissors gets around the player. You can see that we have an arrow on Grayson showing that there's some space behind him and an opportunity here, right? So when we get our heads up and find that open player, Grayson was in the middle, maybe could have sent another ball down the middle to wide on the right and built a counterattack. Here we have Grayson and Wyatt highlighted in the boxes, and this is an example of some really good pressure. So Grayson pressuring the defender, Wyatt steps in, puts pressure, and we get a goal. So nice example of how pressure forces mistakes on the other end. Here we have an example of not marking up too tight, right? So we're giving this guy a lot of space. They're able to find the guy here on the side. Plenty of space now. So Wyatt has to track back and gets caught chasing the ball. And we're just leaving a little bit too much space, so they're able to deliver the ball into the middle. Aiden with a really nice win. Challenging defender, gets the ball into space. You can see here there's a few guys, even Grayson has his hands up. He knows he's open, has some space. And Aiden was looking up there trying to get it, just didn't work out. Instead, we got countered. And so now they have a 3 versus our 2, which is not ideal. And we have a lot of space there in between our players and theirs, taking advantage of it, and a good goal scoring opportunity for them. Here we have some examples of really good defense. You can see that Tyler finds his mark. He's trying to get in a little closer, closing the gap, and then he's close enough that he can step right in and win that ball. So a really good example of staying goal side and waiting for the right opportunity to jump in and take the ball, put in some pressure. Here you can see we have a little bit of distance. Mac recognizes that immediately, and I love this. Mac puts his arm out. He's touching the guy, just like we talked about, being arm's reach of the defender. So had to point out that Mac is arm's reach, just like we talked about. Fantastic. Marking up tightly, that's what we want to see. He's goal side, he's tight, he's watching where the ball is. John is highlighted up top, and you got to love this. John is ready to go after this ball, pressures him immediately, steals it, almost gets a goal out of it. But then Mac pressuring his player, and you can see the difference. When we pressure them, we force the mistakes, right? Here we have an example of a nice quick pass out of the back. So we win the ball. I think that's Jake, wins the ball, takes a few touches, sees the space, finds Aiden, and an opportunity here to counter the defense. The difference between dribbling out and finding the quick pass. Here we got a couple players out wide, which is great. And kind of an example of when we have the wide players, we got to use them, right? We have the open player, we have the easy pass, we got to take it instead of going down the middle and risk losing it and getting countered. Here's another good example of great defense by Mac. You can see he's goal side, he's staying goal side, he's next to that player, tracking back to stay goal side, closing the gap, not giving him space or time, and ready to step in, ready to pressure. You can see the difference. When we don't give them time and space, they can't do much with it. Here's another great example of getting our head up and finding the open man before we run into a bunch of defenders. So we beat one. There's some space. You can see it highlighted off to the right there. This would have been a nice opportunity to just get that pass off to Grayson and then start a counterattack. Here we can see that we start off goal side, which is great. But then we let the defender slip behind us and they beat us down the line. So again, the importance of staying goal side, checking your shoulder, and if we step in, we got to make sure we win the ball. Here we have a nice attack. So we'll see here, we're not giving him a space. Tyler with a great challenge wins the ball, and he has great options both on his right and his left. He finds Aiden to his left. Aiden finds Jonas in the middle, and just a great piece of soccer, right? We're pressuring. We're not giving him time and space. We're finding the passes quick and early. Here's an example of, when it might be beneficial for us to talk, right? When we're out there, we have to talk to our teammates. So here, Jonas has got the ball. He's looking to go wide. A little miscommunication there. We lose it, and we give up a goal. So we got to talk to each other. Here's another example. We're giving them too much space and time. You just see the distance there. We give them time to dribble at us versus when we're marked up tightly, right? When they dribble at us, they have momentum. It's just a simple touch past us into space. It's much easier to beat a defender when they have space and time, as you saw there. A nice pass and a good opportunity. It all started because we were not marked up tightly, right? That's why it's so, so important. Find your marks. Be an arm's length, just like Mac was earlier. Here's a good look. Tyler finds Mac out wide. So Mac, if we would have been a little bit wider, that would have been great. Mac finds the pass back. Tyler's fighting. We just got to make sure we're getting nice, clean passes to each other. But good idea from both Mac and Tyler. Here's an example of getting the ball downfield quickly and getting across. So Tyler takes a quick throw in. He sees Mac, throws it into space, so Mac can kind of run onto it. A lucky bounce there, but Mac goes down line, gets his head up, finds the cross, and we had two players that were just barely out of position. Here we have a corner kick opportunity. Now, it's not often that we score on a corner kick. We do on this one, but what I'm pointing out is watch the goalie highlighted there. We need to have somebody around that goalie in case that touch doesn't go in the goal, it goes the other way, somebody's there to knock it in. So, great goal. Here you can see we have a shot on our goal, but we are not goal side. Kane comes up with a good save, but their players there ready to tap it in instead of somebody on our team ready to tap it out. So got to stay goal side on these shots. Here we have a nice attack. Looks like Grayson. He's finding the space. I love how he gets his head up, and he's going to the space, not into the crowd. Constantly looking for the space. Gets a nice shot off. And that was a goal that should have been, and unfortunately was not seen by the referee. But it happened because Grayson kept finding the space. Here, this is just sheer effort. Love it. John is highlighted there. You see he's got his defender in sight, comes and wins the ball. Just a great, great piece of defending. John again. Grayson gets the ball. This is a nice example of how we find the open player in space and build a counterattack. Grayson with a great pass into space. Tyler's able to run onto that ball. Great opportunity, cuts it in. Nearly scores, just barely missed. Great, great example of getting our head up quickly and finding the open man. Here we highlight, I think it's Grayson and Aiden, and we're going to see a really nice passing sequence between these kids. So Aiden with a nice step in goal side, nice little fake, finds Grayson with a little touch. Grayson with a beautiful skill, finds Aiden again. Aiden with a one touch to John in the middle, and a nice effort. That was just, you guys can see how well we move the ball and what happens, the chances we create. Here's Simon with a little piece of skill and exploding past the defender. What I'm showing here is how we kind of bunch up, right? The arrows where the space is, that's where that player should be. Simon played it to the right place, but we weren't there. So just another example of why we want to stay wide when we're on the wings. Here, we just need to get the ball out sometimes, right? We had a couple opportunities to get the ball out. We just couldn't, and they're able to capitalize. So when the ball's in the box, we just got to clear it. Here we'll see a nice kick, a nice free kick to feet. Simon fighting for the ball, but you can see the highlighted defenders. Again, we're giving them too much space. We got to mark up tight. We got to push them. We're just keeping them on sides at this point and letting them dribble at us, finding the open person, and just creating a dangerous play. Simon with a great steal. He sees the field, knows where he wants to go, going into that space, which is fantastic. Keeping it in bounds, going down the line. Here I'm showing the runs that could have been made, right? So we have a person in the middle that could have gone in the middle. We have the arrow going downfield, but instead we kind of sit and watch, and then we get in the way. So again, kind of getting bunched up, taking each other's space. Despite that, Mac with a Maradona, fighting for the ball. Should have been a foul. Simon's able to find Aiden, but they're able to clear it out. So good example of just trying to not bunch up, find your own space, and know where we are on the field. So boys, I think that's going to do it. Hey, I was trying to keep this one a little bit shorter. Hopefully we learn some more things from these videos. I think there's a few common themes here that I'm seeing develop. One is defensively. It's not easy to play defense, play forward, play right forward, play left defense, and play every position. I understand that. But when we're playing defense, it's so important. And hopefully you can see in these examples, we cannot give them space and time. Find your marks, get within arm's reach, just like Mac did. Reach out and touch them, and stay in that position until you know you can win the ball. The passing is so much better this game. We're getting our heads up. We're finding the space, either dribbling into it or finding the player that's in it. And you can see the opportunities that we create when we do that. So fantastic job. The next video will be coming out here shortly. And, these are some of the things we'll start to work on in practice. So I'll see you guys soon. Thanks for watching, and hope you enjoyed.